Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the new Sword and Shield stuff, make sure you check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your order using the code OmniPoke. For today's video, we are looking at Psychic Malamar. Now, it's an archetype that I kind of wrote off in the Sword and Shield format, but it did manage a top 16 placement at the OCIC with Daniel Altavia, also a handful of other pretty popular, well-known American players also decided to pilot the archetype and have backed it, saying that it is pretty strong in this format. And now that we've seen a Mewtwo win, that's also more or less a win for Malamar going forward, because it's always been a matchup that historically you prefer to be on the Malamar side than the Mewtwo side. So the format may be shifting a little in its favor, which is something to bear in mind. Now, currently, the 60 that they played kind of takes a sack to control, which isn't great, and your Goons matchup isn't necessarily easy for you. You're never out of it, even though you only have Malamars to attack with as evolutions. We have a lot of damage counter placement with Mew, with Blacephalon, with Spell Tag, so you're not completely out of it. But we'll talk about those techs in a moment. For now, we're going to look at this 60, and one thing to note about this list, I actually really like the 60 cards in front of me right now. I haven't made any changes from their list. I think they've got all the important one-of Pokemon possible, and then they've just got as many spaces committed to consistency as possible. One of my personal concerns whenever I look at Malamar lists is that consistency element. How many Inkays can you get down turn 1? How many Malamars can you get turn 2? How many Psychic have you been able to pitch in those early turns? The first 2 turns of Malamar is very, very hit and miss, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So I really do respect the 60 that they came up with here, where they're maximizing the ball search, the decent supporters, they have 4 Jirachis, and they have 3 Acro Bikes. So they've tried to commit a lot of spaces here to making the deck just function, which I can certainly respect as someone who is a Mali skeptic normally. So let's jump into the 60. We have these 4 Jirachis, obviously an optimal lead for us. Stellar Wishing, getting us value, getting us ball search cards supported in the early turns. It's obviously a great pivot for us because Malamar accelerates to the bench, of course, so throughout the game we'll get a lot of value from this. We have a bunch of 1 prizes that naturally get knocked out quite easily, so we have plenty of opportunities to make the most out of Stellar Wish, which is great. We then have a 4-4 line of Malamar. Psychic Recharge is the core of the deck, really, helping us accelerate to high energy attackers all over again. So yeah, it's going to reload our attacks out of nowhere, and it means that we can play a bunch of these one-offs knowing that we can just bench them, instantly put a bunch of recharges onto them, and get their attacks rolling, which is the core of the deck, really. We have our main attacker, which is only a 2-of in the Giratina. You get away with a 2 count because Distortion Door allows us to bring this back from the discard pile over and over again, so we can play a nice 6 prize game plan against opposing 1 prizes, which is great. And we also get some extra damage counters into play. When this is put onto the bench from the discard, you get to put 1 counter on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Having damage counter placement is very synergistic with this deck. We have spell tags, we have Blacephalon, we have Mew. We have lots of ways that we can try and interact with our opponent's bench. So this damage is actually super relevant here from Distortion Door. And its main attack is Shadow Impact. It does 130, which is just a little bit shy of knocking out tag teams in 2 hits, but you do have things like spell tag and stuff that can help you push that over. It's enough to deal with a bunch of 1 prizes. It's pretty decent at dealing with 2 prize Pokemon as well, again with the help from spell tags and whatnot elsewhere. So still a pretty decent damage output overall. We are hitting for weakness on Mewtwo, which is obviously a huge deal. Again, you still don't knock them out, but you have, again, spell tags and all this other stuff that can come in. Even the Distortion Door itself can set up a Mewtwo, which is great. You do have to put 4 counters on one of your own guys, but this is usually not the biggest deal in the world if you know where to put the counters in the certain matchups. So yeah, you can normally get around that quite easily without too much pain. And then we have a bunch of one-offs. We'll start off with Mimikyu. It's kind of been in and out of the list for a bunch of Malamars in the past. Now it's certainly back in as a core one-of, I would say, because of how important its role is at dealing with Zacians. Copycat on a Brave Blade knocks out a Zacian, so you're getting a simple uptrade there, which is fantastic. So yeah, Mimikyu in here, mainly in here for the Zacian matchup, come Sword and Shield, but also it's still useful against a bunch of other tag teams as well. The Solgaleo Lunala is the new tag team of choice in the deck. Cosmic Burn again hits that magic number of being able to knock out a Zacian, which is a big deal. Also 230 with the help of spell tags and other damage placements throughout the game is normally going to be enough to deal with tag teams if you've like navigated your damage counters correctly. So yeah, Cosmic Burn is a great finishing move you can try and go for in a lot of situations. We have the Light of the Protector GX attack as well, that for 2 Psychic and a Colorless does 200. Again, the amount of damage placement that we have, that can also be a great way to just bench a tag team in the late game, slap a bunch of energies on, go for that GX attack, and close out the game a little bit faster than your opponent may expect from things like a Giratina. So yeah, it's a nice extra bit of damage that you can have available to you. We do have another GX attack in the deck, and it's one that we will try and use all the time against ADP Zacian, and that's Clear Vision GX. For the rest of this game, your opponent can't use any GX attacks. Yep, ADP Zacian is that good that we can't beat it unless we try and go for Clear Vision, basically. You got to try and get your GX attack in there before they are able to alter creation, because the prize trade is just way out of your control if they are able to pull that off. So we're just going to try and say no to that, really, with this Clear Vision GX. Now, we have this annoying power bind ability that means we need to have 4 bench Pokemon in play in order to use this Clear Vision, which is a real pain, but it's something you've got to try and do. We have 16 basic Pokemon in the deck and 8 Ball Search cards, so you have plenty of ways to get this Clear Vision off straight away. So yeah, I think just quickly, anecdotally, I would choose to go second with this deck a lot of the time. If you're up against ADP Zacian, so you go second with this deck against every matchup, really. When you don't know what the matchup is. When you do know the matchup against ADP Zacian, I would choose to go second if they play E-switches, but if they don't play E-switch, you can actually choose to get away with going first, actually. But against everything else, you basically choose to go second with this deck. So yeah, just so you can get that Clear Vision in before they are able to use their Alter Creation. So yeah, Tag Purge is also a decent option, of course. There's still a bunch of tag teams around, and trying to make life awkward for them still can be handy. If you're already attaching energy for the Clear Vision, you can sometimes just free retreat out of your Latios, just get some recharges and switch back into it, and get those Tag Purges off as well for just early damage, so that's always something to bear in mind. Then we have the stuff that plays with damage counters and bench sniping. It's a big factor of the deck when you have the item spell tag that can help sort things out here. We have that Psy Barrier from, Psy Power from Mew here. I'm getting mixed up with bench barrier and Psy Power. You can put 3 counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. This is obvious great synergy. Good early game presence that you can just put a spell tag on this guy and start sending Psy Powers around the board, setting things up for Giratinas. Definitely a good card to bear in mind. But bench barrier also puts a big shift in here against Pikarom. Also great against Mewtwo to an extent as well, so they can't just bench snipe your stuff. Random Cramorant's index, you know. This bench barrier gets a lot of value. And making sure people go through the active thing that hopefully has a spell tag on is the main idea here. We then have a Blacephalon, which is basically like a bigger version of the Mew. You do 4 damage counters for 2 energy, but this goes haywire if your opponent's on 3 prize cards. You get to do 12 counters wherever you like, which again just can mean that you're dealing with the Denes that you've set up earlier with Distortion Doors and spell tags, dealing with like Jirachi's and other 1 prizes on the back. You have a lot of control with this Blacephalon. It's definitely a good card. You can also set up damage for the final one-of attacker we have in the deck, which is Espurr. Earkinesis does 20 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each damage counter on that Pokemon. So yeah, you can double dip on things that you've put a little bit of damage on, like 6 damage counters or like 8 damage counters. You can like double up on that Earkinesis and cause a real problem for the opponent, which is really, really awesome. Onto the items now. With all the bench control that we have with these attackers and the spell tags, you only really need 1 Great Catcher. It can still be a fantastic option for dealing with a Dedenne. Again, with things like the Light of the Protector GX attack, it can be a great way that we can finish out the game. Also, it can be good for dealing with like Mewtwo's. Normally, they only play 2 copies of Weak Guard energy, so if they have an active Mewtwo with a Weak Guard and then a bench Mewtwo, you can Great Catcher and deal with the other one a lot easier. So all that stuff comes into play, of course, against most tag teams, because we are trying to 2-shot them. A lot of the time, the Great Catcher can come in handy to bring them back into the active. We have a Lana's Fishing Rod, even though Ornery Rod is obviously a card now in Sword and Shield, and that's really a testament to how important these spell tags are. Not only do you want them on the active, sometimes you want them on the bench to help defend against Fione and custom catchers and stuff like that. So yeah, the Lana's Fishing Rod, really, really important for making sure we make the most out of our spell tags, which is a huge part of our damage output at the end of the day. We have 3 Acro Bikes, like I said at the start. I'm nervous about the consistency of Malamar, even in this new day and age with Quick Ball and Research. So Acro Bike digging deeper into the deck, giving us extra discard synergy with Psych Energies is always welcome. So yeah, we're rocking with 3 of those. We have 4 Treasures, which searches everything in the deck but the Jirachi, and 4 Quick Ball, which searches everything in the deck but the Malamar. So both of these cards have 16 ball search outs for Pokemon, which is just insane. And they have extra discard synergy for your Psych Energies. So yeah, all around really, really busted cards for search. We have 3 Switch and 2 Escape Board to work with the Jirachi engine. You can pop the Escape Board on a bunch of other Pokemon as well, just for having a pivot. It can be an Inkay, it can be a Mew, it can be all sorts of stuff, which is great. We have 2 Viridians to help get even more access to energy cards. It's Stellar Wishable means of finding energy, which is big. It's getting extra energies in the discard pile early, whilst also fishing them out to have manual attachments in play. Viridian just has great synergy with this archetype overall. Cynthia for some shuffle draw, Professor's Research for some extra discard synergy and a big dig into the deck. We have those spell tags, which really is a big part of our damage output overall, and we have such great control of things. You can really punish things like Jirachi, that's in so many decks right now. Any 1 prizes the opponent's playing, and just setting up damage for the Giratina. So these spell tags are very versatile and strong. And then we're playing 8 Physical Psychic. Oftentimes you would see a Recycle energy in here, but the fact that you're seeing 8 Psychic just tells me that they are really focused on trying to find that clear vision as much as possible. Giving yourself 10 outs with the Viridians is definitely a big deal. So right now, I think this is an archetype that is okay against ADPization as long as you prioritize that Latios-GX as quickly as possible. You're pretty decent at trading against other tag teams and such. Obviously, the Mewtwo matchup is not one that you want to... Well, it is one that you want to see a decent amount of the time, which is cool. But it's really things like Obstagoon and Control where things get a little bit hairy. I think against Goons, you can obviously attack with the Malamars here and there. You can also do some damage placement with the Mew and the Blacephalon. The Obstagoon only prevents damage, so you can still place counters around. And you have spell tags, so it's not like you're instantly losing that game, but it's not one that I feel necessarily comfortable in, so just something to bear in mind. But it's really mill where I think we don't have much of a chance right now. So we could have our good old friend Stinger, the answer that Mewtwo decks play, into the list. You could try working in a Ditto. Having a 5th Inkay in general is a welcome sight. So trying to work a Stinger GX in here could be nice. That would also help out against the Obstagoon, because then your Blacephalon has the 12 damage counter kind of play. And just like the Welder Mewtwo and the Mali Mewtwo, they can play Stinger and the Blown, and that gives you a great answer to both Goons and Control. So if you want to make those tech additions, you certainly can do. If you don't want the Ditto Prism Star, if you think there's going to be Wobbuffets around, if you think there's going to be... well, if you think it's just too risky against Obstagoon to bench a Ditto because of the potential for them to just knock it out with Goon spread, you could also think about adding in a Mewtwo into the deck. It's a little sketchy. It's an extra 3-prize Pokemon that you really don't want to start in the deck, but when you're already playing like 15 Pokemon that are basics that aren't tag teams, adding in an extra Pokemon isn't that risky in terms of just starting the guy. But the reason you may want this is obviously you can Stinger more often, but also it's a better means of getting your Latios-GX attack off, because you don't need to find 4 bench Pokemon, you just need to find this and then bin the Latios. So it could potentially be a better answer than just adding a Ditto into the 60, because as you all know, Cincino Control, they play Wobbuffet anyways, so yeah, you may want to add the Mewtwo instead. So yeah, that's a couple options for Malamar going forward if you are worried about some non-prize racing decks. But from what I've heard from the American players who did pilot this archetype, they believe that this deck is strong against most archetypes out there that want to win traditional prize races, and that's appealing. So let's test the theory today. If you want to see even more Malamar gameplay as well, I actually streamed this yesterday for I think 3 hours or so. So go ahead and check out twitch.tv/teamomnipoke, and you can go ahead and look at one of my previous streams from yesterday piloting this deck. So we'll have 2 or 3 games today, and after that you can go ahead and check out the stream if you want to have even more content. So as I said, You want to go second with this archetype a lot of the time because you want to just have access to supporters. And this is, you know, case in point right here. Sometimes you just don't hit your ball search and you just need to have supporters to bail you out. So, yeah, we're allowing our opponent to go first here. They start with a Jirachi, and an Absol is never a welcome sight. But we'll see what they're playing. They're going to kick things off with a Wish. And hopefully we get a bit of an indication of what we're up against. See, Quick Ball, that's also in everything, so could be anything still at this point. The hand isn't great if we're trying to go for a early Latios. If this is ADPization, we don't have many ball search cards just yet. Arangaroo, yeah, it is going to be ADPization. Okay, let's try and rush that Latios before they can alter creation. I'm probably going to have to put down the Solgaleo Lunala. Alright, they're also able to find a Zacian, so pretty ideal as long as they get a manual attachment on their ADP. Yep, they do. So their hand is really, really good for turn 1. It's about as much as you can ask for. And they also get the free attachment in as well, which is nice. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to play as many cards as I can and try and go for 7 cards. So we're looking for basic Pokemon, Switch card, Latios, and an Energy. It's a lot to ask for. Well, we have the Latios, the Switch, the Energy, and I just need one more Pokemon actually, so this is looking really good. Nice, we're there. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bastard. Alright, I can dig one more card, but I'd always have to discard both, so I'm not a big fan of that. So let's put this down. Let's put this down. We can already knock out Zacian pretty happily with other stuff, so I'm just going to do this. With things like our Mimikyu. So let's go ahead and grab another ink here. This is actually, man, that Professor's research was so good. And we get the Clear Vision GX on him. Now, we have put down 5 prizes worth of stuff already, so their alter creation isn't mandatory. But we had to in order to get this GX attack off. Now they're in a situation where they're probably just going to try and go hard Zacian against us. And we love to see that, really, because, oh, they're quick balling, so this might mean a Dedenne has to come down, which is also really good for us because it's much easier to deal with than other things. So they're digging for saucers here, by the looks of things, so they can start getting attacks off. They still have supporter for turn. I see a quick ball now, probably for a second Zacian. They're going to pitch a metal. Oh, they can grab an ADP. Maybe just some discard fodder. Yep, discard fodder. They had the other Zacian in hand. They can research away this ADP. The one thing that is going to be super frustrating is this Absol. We want to deal with that guy as soon as possible. So are they still whiffing on Saucer? Surely not. Vitality Band comes in, and wow, they actually did whiff on Saucer. That's great for us. That's a big whiff from them. They missed Saucer on essentially, what, 18 cards? That's pretty rough. We'll put down a Jirachi. We will research. Alright. What are we working with here? No Malamars, which isn't great. Not many options at all, actually, looking at things here. I may pay retreat this Latios. And keep the switch around for next turn. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. We're paying retreat into the Jirachi here, looking for Ball Search. Ideally Treasure, yeah. If I establish this Malamar this turn, it means I can have the Mimikyu to respond, knock him out, and he's just not aware of it right now, so that's going to be really good for us. So we're going to recharge this energy back onto the Latios, I think. Or I could put it onto the Solgaleo Lunala if I wanted to. Let's think about this. The Tag Purge isn't doing much at all, but this could be our pivot if I wanted to. But I already have a switch. Okay, I'm going to put one here. Put one here. And we're just going to pass into the opponent. I might play around Marnie here. Make it less appealing. Alright. So we've set up that copycat knockout quite nicely. And then we've already got 2 energies on Solgaleo Lunala for potential like secondization. When they don't use Ultimate Ray in the matchup, it's actually like oftentimes we can just knock out 2 Zacians and they just don't have another thing to do. It's quite hard for them to find all 3. Alright, so straight away they find a Saucer at this point. Which, again, they were super unlucky to miss it last turn. In theory, they should be 2 prizes better off right now. There's an energy to a Zacian on the bench. Do they have any Gust is my question. Don't want to see them gusting Malamar. Ooh, coin flip Gust. You love to see that. And that's why you love to see coin flip Gust. Let's see a Sinlin now. Tossing away Jirachi for a research. See another coin flip. This time they do get heads. Are they going to go 2 prizes? Squid. Oh, they're going to try and deal with this proactively. Escape Board. And Brave Blade. Okay. So, Fishing Rod can get us a Malamar back into the deck, which I am interested in. Oops. Certainly interested in that. We're going to switch. Switch into this. I can do the recharges, but I'm running low on switches. I've already played 2. Let's think about this. If I was to attach here, it doesn't make sense. If I attach to the Latios and switch, I just need to find I need to find a discard synergy for a Psychic Energy. That's probably more likely than me trying to Stellar-ish dig for stuff though. So let's switch into this. And get a manual energy on it. And then we'll do this. So we're looking for Psych Energy and discard synergy card. Well, we missed the discard synergy, and of course you hit the extra switch. Oh, that actually works. I can pay retreat out of the Latios into Jirachi and Stellar-ish now. It is painful, but we're going to do it. So 3 switches gone is a big deal. That's a problem, for sure. But we are taking a knockout here. I'm going to Escape Board this. We can go for a Cosmic Burn. So they just need to find one Sorcerer this turn for a response knockout. We actually hit Treasure, which is huge. So if they don't Hand Disrupt us, we have that Mimikyu response, which is big. See a Fion. Pretty sure they have to go through this turn, right? There's a Marnie, which I don't like to see because we have a Ball Search, but we still have plenty of Ball Search in the deck. We've only played 3 of our 8. There is the Marnie. So they didn't have a Sorcerer in that massive hand, but obviously it's a 5-card dig rather than a Shuffle 5. That's the joy of Marnie, so they have a decent chance to find this. There you go. So that's 2 of their Sorcerers played. This damage. We want it all on Dedenne. So that I can knock out the Zacian and then just go for a Espurr play. And we drew back into our Treasure, so I'm pretty happy with that. Not Espurr play, Mimikyu play. But we actually top deck Mimikyu, so now we can have the Treasure saved for an Espurr play, which is cool. So that's already there for us. This can come down. It doesn't change anything for us. Do I get a manual attachment in anywhere? I've played 3 Switch and 2 boards, so it doesn't make sense on a Jirachi. It doesn't really make sense on anything, actually. The only thing is it's thinning my deck of an energy. How many energy have gone? 2, 4, 5. 5 of 8. Yeah, I guess I'll put one here to play around him gusting Latios next turn. Sure, that makes the most sense to me. And we're mainly doing this digging for spell tags, which is actually something that we find, which is great. Now, do I want to put another spell tag onto anything? Probably... Probably not. Does play around Fion, but I don't think they can afford to leave the Mimikyu alive. So we will copycat this Zacian. I think the biggest way that I could lose here is actually if he just gusts Giratina and starts passing into me, because that's a 4 retreat cost. That guy is fat. Play 3 switches proactively. I wonder if they can see that line though. There's the reset stamp. Done pretty well off that. They're taking their time on this wish. Grab a Marnie. That's probably not what they're after. There's the energy to ADP, so they're just going to pass into us here. They actually do play Lana as well. Alright. So, we're just going to go for the Giratina knockout here. Tag Purge is better. But doing the Giratina knockout means I don't just lose to the Gust play. I think that's the only way I lose is that Gust move, right? So we'll do our 2 retreat cost. I think I'll keep digging for tags. Great Catcher is game, right? Yep. That works too. When it's a one-off Great Catcher, I never really like have it in my plan too much, but oh, the Espurr was part of my plan and that was prized. I need to check these things more. Alright, that's a win. Against ADPization. And we were able to do the Latios turn 1, which is cool. By the skin of our teeth. Doing it with an Absol in play is actually pretty hard to pull off. So yeah, that was nice. Shows you that ADPization is winnable as long as you can use that Latios. Let's see what else we can face. Full disclosure, if we face Control, I'm scooping. Play Stinger or lose, basically, is the options you have as the Squids player. Alright, hand is looking pretty decent. We're going second again, which is what we prefer. And we might be in a mirror here. We'll see. Looks like it's mirror. A mirror when they started Mew is not something I like to see. They're gonna dump a Psychic for a Psychic. They can Acro Bike. Oh, they're playing Marnie's in the list. They're going to retreat for a Wish. See the Escape Board, that's fine. Mirrors can get pretty funky. I'm going to start with this. Alright, our Mew is in the deck, which is good. Probably also going to have to search out a Jirachi here. Myself. Let's do this first. The board is very nice. Let's get the Mew. Let's get the Jirachi. We're basically mimicking him right now. Now I could board into Mew and just get my damage counters in. Do you think that's the best move I can make? Damage is damage. Yeah, I think I like it actually. He only got one Inkay down and no Giratina attachment, so he can't kill my Mew. So we're going to try and ping down his Mew. This means he can't spell tag his Mew, which is big. Next turn I may pay retreat this Mew and just go for the YOLO Wish. Hope to find Prof Research. We're playing for tempo here, boys. We're playing for tempo. So they are going to research here. They find a squid, they can treasure. Another squid. Energy going on to the Tina real quick. Retreating to the Mew. They should not have spell tagged the active, because now I can Psy Power kill it. They've wasted a spell tag, which in Mirror is a really big deal. And I found my own spell tag, which is pretty pog. Yeah, this seems really good. Playing for tempo. That's a hell of a prize. Now, with only one Inkay down, it is a little bit more awkward. I may be forced to using a Mimikyu next turn. Shadow impacting with a Mimikyu, which isn't ideal. It's the downside here. Taking a grab. Mew and spell tag back. Oh. So I was sinking in my chair. They're going to treasure out another squid. Looks like Tina's coming in. See the Stellar Wish. They are able to find a spell tag. Alright. I'm going to target down Jirachi to start things off. I'm going to put Stellar Wish up front. Research away Cynthia. So we do hit the Mimikyu. I currently don't have any switch out though, so we'll start off with the Acro here. There's our switch out. Unfortunately, we have to say no to a Ball Search card. I think I gotta toss the Malamar here. I probably should have done the Viridian first. Actually, am I going to Viridian? There's already 3 Psychics in my bin. Probably not, actually. I think Mali goes here first, so I can have better Stellar Wish odds for another Ball Search. Do I even want to Ball Search a second time? I guess I have to, because, yeah. This is getting pretty rough. Oh, so Mimikyu's not even here. Okay, this is a problem. Okay. We'll do this. So now I will Viridian. Now we'll Wish. No Ball Search is rough. Alright, we are going to do the door. Actually, we're not going to put it there because he could Shadow Impact into it. We're going to do it on these. On these, I should say. We really don't have many options here. I'm not going to be able to attack next turn either. This is really bad. I probably wasn't meant to go into this Giratina. Actually, wait. We can do this. Okay. That's what we'll do. Weird plays, I know. The playing for tempo may end up being playing greedy. He just put down a Cramorant. He's going to be able to snipe our only Malamar, which sucks. Especially because I just put an energy on my Malamar. What just happened? Alright, well that's not good for us, I know that much. Alright, we're gonna do this. We find some Pokemon. What a treat. We only have one squid left. That is not good news. So I have nothing that I can really sack into him here other than the Jirachi that's active. Yeah, this is looking pretty grim. I'm going to quick ball away an Inkay for a Tina, and they're probably just going to Viridian that guy away. Or Treasure, yeah. Solgaleo Lunala, they didn't need that either. That goes with the Viridian. Comes the recharges. And just passed. Oh, we got bailed out big time. Okay, that's Pog. So they're actually stuck, huh? They've Viridian and whiffed, so they prized two energy. Yeah, 2 energies. That's rough. That's gonna be pretty good for us. Let's wish we can get our only Malamar out of our deck. I should actually keep the Lana's fishing rod in hand, because I don't know what I need just yet. We're going to swing into this guy. This 2-prizer might be saving our bacon, by the way. Might be saving our bacon. I really want a fishing rod when I can get back a spell tag, obviously, as well. Yeah, they're just going to pass into us. How many switches have they played? None. They played no switch, 1 board, so I can't rely on this too much. But I may try and milk the value for another turn. I don't mind doing this Blacephalon play because we already have the fishing rod in hand. Otherwise, I wouldn't like it as much. Let's set these guys up. Interesting. Wow. This is going great. This is just going swell. How is he missing? Alright, spell tag, research, here we go. He's back in it. There's the switch. And the Stellar Wish. So, 2, 3. Oh wow. He's putting even more damage counters into play with his own Shadow Impact here. Powering up Cramorant. Might be a bait. Zero puts this. Puts on himself. 4, 8, 12. And I can fishing rod. I think I'm always taking this 1. I think I'm always putting 2 here as well. Alright, let's wish for a Ball Search card if possible. We've played 3 and 3. Okay, let's get our Baby Blown. Baby got blown. Fireworks bomb him. We can also try and find that spell tag again. Not find the spell tag. Alright, let's have a look at this. This guy's at 5. That's 11, 12. I could go down to 1 prize and leave him with 1 Malamar in play. 6, 11, 12, right? Then he has to Cramorant kill Malamar, and then I just attack him, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. We've been pretty lucky this time, I think. Pretty lucky. We were very far behind. And we got bailed by a Cramorant getting stuck. I think they were so far ahead that they could have just kept going with Giratina and just won as well. But Cramorant seemed too much. Yeah, I feel like I misplayed the opening part of the game, but we reacted to our opponent's greed quite well. That seems good. That seems good. Alright. What a mirror. We didn't even need to attack with a Malamar. The secret mirror play. Too many of our Malamars got knocked out. Jumping over the opponent's Blound turn is important as well, guys. Don't let them do what I just did. Alright, we'll get one more game in. We do not want to begin the game. That's over to you. Mally hand incoming. Keep the 6th card in hand to make it more likely that they random stamp. Everyone out here absoling turn 1. So rude. Blue energy. Tag calling for 1 target tells me they just gonna research next turn. Oh, saved. Saved. Now, last time was pretty unlikely that we were going to hit the Latios, but I still went for it, right? We need 1, 2, we need 3 Pokemon, 1 energy, and 1 Ball Search out. Or do I go for the Hypnosis play? I think that the Hypnosis is probably a better play than trying to reach for Latios here. Yeah, we were miles off. So, the Latios play seems decent. Oh, sorry, not going for the Latios play seems right here. Easy sleep. Oh. Chance. They also tag called away a... Well, they didn't tag call, so they didn't have Malolana. Okay, they have Switch in hand. This is where we're in a lot of trouble, boys. We weren't able to Latios on 1 because our opening hand wasn't great. They've been able to... What the... That's got way too much health for us. Yikes. Okay, so yeah, we're in trouble now. That's for sure. I'm going to try and tag purge him, I guess. With the late to the party Latios. We still need a lot here. So this is definitely good. That's a second squid. We like to see that. This is an Inkay, which we also like to see. How many energy are in my bin? Just 1, so I'm going to have to try and pay retreat this squid and Stellar Wish into a switch. Basically. Or Acro Bike into 1. Wait, this is perfect, right? This gets a second energy in the bin. Yeah. So we're tag purging. We have no hand, and there's nothing stopping him dropping a DDE man. So he can DDE, 3 CE and, well, yeah, VMAX first. That's a Dragon Talon that he chooses to play in his deck. What is going on? Well, there goes a 3 CE, fortunately for us. We would hate to see a Fione here. Quick balls for a Fione. They're taking their time. They don't have Fione. Pog. They snap pick Fione if they have it, right? Jirachi. Stellar Wish. Oh no. Not like this. Oh. Very good. I definitely want to, because he's going to snipe a Malamar next turn. I think I actually want to get the Solgaleo down and start getting energies on him, threatening this ADP. How much does Snorlax do with the buff? Not enough to kill this, right? It's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 21, 22, 25. I guess I'm putting this guy down. Gonna try and get our Mali value while we can. I'll continue to tag Purge, of course. One prize. They chose not to go into Jirachi. Which is good for us in terms of... Oh. Okay, so he had the customs, he just didn't have the switch. Just gonna Ultimate Rain to us, okay. I think that's actually better for us than them just knocking out a Malamar, right? So if I just Light of the Protector here... how am I dealing with a max Lax? Lax is just too big. They take 4 prizes on this, and then I have nothing that can sponge, right? This is a problem. We're always doing this. It's just if I'm retreating into the Stellar Wish here and hoping to hit some goodies. I think I'm always retreating. I don't think I'm ever making the right play if I'm attacking this guy with this guy. Well, it's not a supporter, but we can still attack. I'm going to recharge this man. A Great Catcher and 2 customs have gone, so it's just 2 customs left, so it's not that likely that he can just detonate this, you know? I'm going to get hit by the Talon, which is fine. See the Prof's Research. See a switch. Here comes Max Lax at last. Why play Zacian when you can Max Lax? I guess he could Falling Down as well. If he can't max, he actually loses, right? Miss sequence, he could have healed within DD. If he can't V-max here, he just loses. Oh my god, we won. We won. They whiffed the Max Lax. Busted. Well, that's a clean sweep for Malamar today. I still have energy, right? I can't remember if I actually have energy in my deck. We play 8. I'm pretty sure we still had 1. I'm gonna feel real bad if I don't, though. This is the same either way, right? This is better if I don't have it in the deck, though. I've been lazy at checking. Crazy! We somehow beat Max Lax ADP Zacian. Well, no Zacian. Max Lax ADP. Should have been ADP Zacian. But yeah, we managed to win a game even though they altered creation. Wow. Whatever that was. Yeah. But in theory, like, because they used the Snorlax rather than the big Lax, that's how it would have gone if it was an ADP Zacian, right? In many ways. So yeah. That's Squids. We dodged Mill. Very good. We dodged Goons. Very good. We faced other attacking decks, and we won with our attacks against their attacks. Perfect. Let me know what you guys think about Malamar. I probably played it badly at points, for sure. But yeah. I'll hear it all down below, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Cheers.